Welcome to Simple Cooking with Eric. And on today I'm going to show you how to make a all-around multi-use pastry crust. So what we're going to need flour, 6 cups of flour, have in this bowl, 2 eggs, a half a cup of ice water. We're going to need sugar, salt, and I'm going to use about 4 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of salt, a cup of butter, and a cup of shortening. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add to my flour, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of sugar. And with this crust, you could put it for pies, really anything. And I'm going to add a tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of salt. And I'm just going to kind of mix those together. But anyway, like I was saying, this pie crust, you can do anything where you can make, put it on top of pies, cobbler. I'm going to make some turkey patties. You like turkey turnover patties, or you can make them with pot pies. But I'm going to use some of this crust, and I'm making a lot. And you can cut this crust in half if you don't need that much. But I'm going to make some turkey patties with some of this crust and some peach cobblers and whatever else I can use this one. So now I've added our salt, flour, and sugar. Now I'm adding the fat, the butter, and the shortening. So what I'm going to do now, usually people use a pastry blender. This is a pastry blender, but most people don't have a pastry blender, or they use a fork. Or you can use your fingers. So I'm going to use my hand, and I'm going to make this like crumble. Let me wash my hand. And I want to make it like kind of making this. I want to blend the fats in with the flour. So if you can see, as you can see, and my butter is cold. So remember, I got 6 cups of flour in here, a cup of butter, and a cup of shortening. And what I'm doing is taking my hands, and I'm just going to really make it as crumbly as I can. Mix it up because kind of what I want is like a crumbly, make it kind of crumbly. Get the cutting the fat into the flour. A lot of people don't use, there's so many ways to make pastry crust or pie crust, if you want to call it dough, pastry dough, whatever. So many ways, so many people make it so differently. Sometimes I even make it with cooking oil. They have so many rules about the way you cook, and you can't do this, you can't do that. But sometimes you got to find out what works for you. And I have experimented a lot. So all I'm doing, people, is I'm just crushing the fat up with my fingers and my hands. I'm getting it to it. As you can see, it's starting to get that crumbly effect. That crumble. This the way I watched the elders do back when I was coming up, and people that were showing me how to cook. My mom, when she would make crust for her peach cobblers, I think, or her blackberry cobblers. My dad, just the way I saw him do it. Or sometimes people even use a fork when he did dumplings, cut the fat into the dumplings. But with so much newness going on and technology and all kind of machines and gadgets to do whatever you needed to do. But I'm going to do it this way and see the consistency that I'm getting. So after you work that in like that, I'm going to put a little well in the center, and I'm going to beat my eggs up in here. Some more. Kind of whisk my eggs up, as you can see. And then I'm going to add a half a cup of ice water into it. And I'm going to give that a good mix. Now, most people say, oh, pour a little at a time. Now, I'm going to use all of this because I kind of did it so much that I kind of know the measurements. Now, but sometimes the altitude depends on how the humidity in your kitchen. It could go any kind of way. Sometimes you might have to add a little flour, extra flour, or something. So I'm going to, if I need to, be prepared to add a little bit more flour until I get the consistency that I want. But as you can see, then you might have to add a little bit more water. But you can see how I'm working it with my hand. And I tell you, you can make fried pies with this dough. It's all kind of things, possibilities you can do with this dough here. Now, I need a little bit more water. So I'm going to add a little bit more water. And what you do you can kind of keep some water with you and let you continue to work the dough until you get the consistency that you need, or you need for whatever project that you are doing. So you all, what it probably took another. So I probably should have started with a whole cup of water, because I just added another, just about a little under another half a cup of water. And you can't look at it, and it just, see how it comes, see how it just. And some you don't, they tell you not to work it too much because you don't want it to be tough. You don't want a tough crust. I ain't never had no problem with it being tough or anything. So just a little bit more water. So now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to wipe this workspace off, and then I'm going to just give it a good knead. And see the holidays coming up. You can use this for your sweet potato pie. You can roll it in. When the holidays roll around, I will start doing some, videos on preparing for the holiday as I prepare for the Thanksgiving movement of blessing a family, 5 families, and catering a whole entire Thanksgiving meal for I got to get a little quicker doing these videos and all this stalling and pausing I've been doing. But, filming yourself and trying to think at the same time. And, when you got somebody filming with you, you ain't got to do so much thinking. One that the people can see the camera and all that. But I am so grateful that you all are tuning in. And I hope that you continue to tune in. I'm going to dry it with a piece of paper towel. And I want to knead it just a little so we can store it. I did so not much flour. I'm just gonna set these over here. Just a little flour. And now I think I'm gonna just do one, break it in half and do one at a time. And just give it a good knead just to. And it's a strong crust because, like I said, I'm going to use it to make some meat pies. Some turkey meat pies, I think. So I want it kind of a little firmer because I wanted to be able to hold the filling. And you see, I didn't do much kneading, just enough to get it together into this ball. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these in the refrigerator, in these Ziploc bags. I'm going to put them in the refrigerator and let them rest in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes before I get ready to use one. So once again, that is just my take on, this is how I make my pastry crust or pie dough. 6 cups of flour, a cup of cold water, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of salt, 4 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 beaten eggs, and a cup of butter and a cup of shortening. And like I said, remember, you can cut this recipe in half. You can cut it in half if you don't need as much pie crust or pie dough, whatever you call it, as I do. You can cut it in half, but I'm telling you, it's a multi-use pie crust. You can use it for, like I say, the holidays. And listen, you also can make this, say you prepare for the holidays and you want to make your crust. You can make it a month in advance and you can store it in the freezer. And you can get started early. Thank you for tuning in to Simple Cooking with Eric. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. And help me go viral by November the 1st so we can choose 5 deserving families where we would cater their Thanksgiving dinner up to 20 people per family. That's 100 people with all the trimmings and fixing for this year's Thanksgiving. And the process will be recorded live. Thank you. Love you. And remember this, just be good to yourself and others. Peace out.